Alright, looks like we found the exit. So now it's going to come to a little bit of exploring here so we can try and get a bit more experience. Made fairly quick work of that group. So it's pretty safe to say at this point, you guys are probably noticing too, as I move along, there's getting less new information to really talk about to kind of make the exploration interesting, although some of you have stated that you actually like just the, like having all the background noise, you know, the sounds the game makes and all that. So I try to cater to both crowds, as it were. Of course, as they say, if you try to please everybody, you'll end up pleasing nobody. I will say this is moving quite quickly. I do look forward to the full game's release. Oh. That's going to be a dead end, so this is fairly quick. Alright, let's just go ahead and leave this one. But I am looking forward to the full game's release. I honestly think every time I unlock something, be it a rune or a skill, even if I don't think I'm going to like it, I plan on trying it at least once. And I think that's the beauty of the system. You know, they give you something, and because it's gated, you have the opportunity to give it a shot to see if you would like it. Whereas if they give you everything at once, you'll probably just gravitate towards certain things and never try the others.
A perfect strike.
Maintain your incantation.
Need more
You will
time.
soon turn. Your magic. I am free.
Looking forward to getting my gargantuan, my army of the dead.
Back to my mission.
Who are you?
You will know soon enough. Tell me, what brought you to this infernal place?
I go to face the Skeleton King.
As do I.
You know, I have to say I like how my dogs are fairly hardy. They can go out there and fight without much trouble. It was one problem I had with the Necromancer and the Skeletons. The Skeletons were fairly weak. Of course, the Skeletons were strong enough at the beginning, kind of like now, so I have yet to see. You know, I'm hoping that in Nightmare and beyond that demon dogs will still be quite viable. skeleton warriors were fodder in Diablo 2. Skeleton magi were not much better, but because of their range, they had a little more survivability.
The cultists dragged me past this glowing pit. What made it?
I wish to know this as well.
Down this way. There are my weapons. He's free! Do not let him be off! I am Cormac, warrior of the Templar. If it is the Skeleton King you seek, then you will have to fight your way past John Carr. There is no reason we should hunt alone.
No, there is not.
Oh, that just collapsed on me. You know, if I was a barbarian, I could probably jump that and skip right to the end. Not that I have very far to go. This is going to be a dead end over here, but there might be monsters, so let's look. Nope, just the waypoint. Yeah, not very far to go at all, just kind of a slight side passage, but there's still that bit of coolness of being a barbarian that you could just jump across if you really wanted to.
Black magic bars our way, but the will of a Templar is stronger. You were a Templar, John Dar. How could you succumb to this? The Coven is my brotherhood now. The powers we serve will soon rule this world. Please forgive me. My vision was clouded by the magic. Betrayal can never be forgiven. Thank you for your aid. If we find
Agreed.
then onwards
Alright, well, Cormac, you're lucky I just got a nice shield for you. Go ahead and take that.
fine choice.
Do I have any decent weapons? You've got an 8.4. And I'm pretty sure I have nothing better. Alright.
A useful
Thunder
skill.
lizards move. Thunder lizards rule. There were a few scouting spiders there. Don't think they found anything. I like being able to do that though, have an ability that I can actually throw something down from the top of the screen. You know, now that they've switched to a 3D engine instead of a 2D of Diablo 2, you've got those tactics you can do, or if you get above a monster, or if a monster's above you and can fly, it can come down and get you. Of course they could do, the flying monsters typically could do that in 2.
I tried to count how many we've killed.
I like that they haven't really restricted the barbarian too much. You can do your leap attack and go up and down in a 3D space rather easily. They don't limit you to a certain height. You don't have to be on the same plane. We are growing closer and closer to level 11. I see... That's interesting. I see gold way over there. That would indicate that I should be able to get over there. And yes, it even looks like from here I can see a tiny part of the map. That's pretty interesting there to me. Again, one of the beautiful things about having a 3D space, and if you build your maps right, you can give yourself a nice sense of ambience here. Another adventuring Wanga. 2 experience compared to 2 experience. Same damage, it looks like. Ooh, a nice big group. It's nice that in a lot of cases, if you can see a place, you can get to it, but of course in some places like this, obviously, as you can tell by the map, there's no way down there. And you can even tell by my skill, see, I can't throw it over the edge, which means what's down here is merely for looks. But I do like that look, you know, even though I can't get down there, it gives me something to look at other than these pure hallways. Okay, level 11. My zombie dogs have gained a rune. And I've unlocked Firebomb. Okay, you get that a lot sooner this time around. Well, maybe not a lot. I think you got that at 13 before, so a couple levels sooner. Firebomb. Lob an explosive skull that deals 100% weapon damage as fire to all enemies within 8 yards. This has been changed. And this is, again, one of the skills that got a nerf. 35%, it went down from 155% to 100% weapon damage. So 100% weapon damage compared to Poison Dart, which is 100 plus 80, 180. Of course, you do over 200 with the first rune. 350 over 15, which is, of course, as I went over earlier, about 23 damage per second. Interesting. Potential to do AoE, though, these couldn't do. So, there you go, kind of the potential to do more damage over a group than at once. Let's give it a shot. As far as zombie dogs go, lifelink, 10% damage done to you is absorbed by your zombie dogs instead. Now, to those of you who have played World of Warcraft and have played a Warlock, this would be very familiar to you. Lifelink would be World of Warcraft Soul Link for Warlocks. So basically, it's a very defensive ability. If you want to use your pets to help you absorb damage, this would be really good for you. You basically you take a damage, and 10% of that damage, instead of you being done to you, it gets done to your zombie dogs. So the downfall here is that if you really want your pets to be active and constantly attacking, and you start taking damage, they will be taking extra damage. Not only will they taking their own damage, but they'll be taking damage from you. So if you were really interested in keeping your pets up and using them offensively, this may not be the rune for you. Of course, there are other runes that will help you in that case, such as Rabid Dogs, which gives them poison damage, Burning Dogs, which gives them a burning AoE, and of course here's one that actually gives life back to you. So there are other alternatives. I will go ahead and put it on because it is a rune that we don't have, and I don't have any other alternatives really, and I'm not taking a lot of damage, so I don't anticipate it being an issue. So I've got lifelink on the dogs. I have no idea if it's going to change their appearance, to be honest with you. Being a simple rune like just having them take additional damage, I have a feeling they really won't change much. Let's take a look at our Firebomb. That's pretty nice right there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave it as is. I was going to put Haunt up, but I don't think I need to. Alright, let's summon our dogs. They are a little different. They have a slight red glow to them. Very stylish. I've got a decent rate of fire on this Firebomb, as you can see there. I really like the look of Firebomb. I didn't really take a very close look at it before. You see it blows up, and there's kind of a screaming, flaming soul coming out of it.
Are you ever afraid in battle?
Fear is a part of life. If you live, you fear.
So, the benefit of Firebomb, of course, too, is the mana cost. It has the exact same cost of Poison Dart. So it's, again, doesn't have the same damage as Poison Dart, but because it does it over an area, you have more potential to hurt more enemies at a time. So, very comparable, honestly, it seems to me. Since it gets lobbed, it seems to me like it will be very easy to put it where you want it to be. So, for example, you've got enemies that will sit in the background and summon additional enemies, kind of like the old shamans would in Diablo 2. Or maybe you've got ranged casters. Now, if you try to get to that enemy in the background, certain skills will not work very well. For example, Haunt, it travels in a line. Haunt is going to hit whatever's in front of it first before it gets to that caster. Poison Dart is going to do the exact same thing. If I've got a monster in the background casting at me, I'm going to have a hard time getting to him with Poison Dart, if he summoned a lot of minions to protect him. The benefit of this spell, as you can see here, I mean, I can just pretty much lob it at any distance I want, and there's not a problem. Looks like I've got about half the screen. I think the full screen is roughly about 40 yards, so we're probably looking at 25 to 30 yards here. I've got enemies here in front of me, you know, I can just lob it behind them. So this ability is great for hitting those ranged monsters that don't want to get up close. If a monster has guards around him, you know, or say like a boss, like King Leoric, he summons skeletons around him at times. If I want to just keep hitting him while I let my pets handle the small fry, I can. So those things you have to take in consideration, because what I've noticed that some people tend to do with these kind of abilities, when they look at them in like skill calculators and things like that, another experience shrine, I am amazed. The trap people get caught up in when it comes to skill calculators is they look at the raw output of a spell. You know, they look at, say, hey, this spell does X damage, or X damage per second. Why would I want that over this spell that does more damage in a second? Why would I want it over, you know, something that can hit a group for this kind of damage instead of, you know, hitting one. The thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration is, you know, just like this spell, you can lob it and use it tactically. Sometimes tactics can be just as important as your raw output. After all, why would you choose, if you're just concerned about doing raw damage, why would you ever choose a defensive cooldown? I mean, that one is a little more obvious. Even people that are into raw DPS know that you have to have some survivability or you do no DPS. But the mechanics of the skill can be just as important. Kind of hoping to find more things to kill. Got 25% experience buff here. I don't want to waste it. There we go. Alright, I'm very fortunate that we got to level 11 here.
Your spear is finely made.
It is nothing compared to the Grand Maesters. It is named Akanesh, the Herald of Righteousness. A sharper blade.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it to level 12 here. So once I hit level, the next level, that's the crypts, and there's not going to be enough to kill to get the next level there. And I've pretty much got this explored. Now what's interesting is, okay, I want to go back there because if you remember this right here, this spot is where we saw the 5 gold. I want to see if I can get to it. It appears I should be able to from this path over here. Here we are. And there's my 5 gold. Leave no gold piece unpicked up. No gold left behind! And yes, I do love just destroying random pieces of architecture. Alright, since we've already looked everywhere else, I'm going to go ahead and see if there's anything else in this upper corner, and then we'll go ahead and get our way onto the crypts. Alright, we are done here.
Thank you for helping me fight the darkness. To contend with evil is the essence of what it means to be a Templar.
Focus is good, but do not let it narrow you.
I am, I suppose, slightly disappointed that the female characters don't have slightly different dialogue than their male counterparts. I suppose it's a good thing so that you don't have to feel the need to play both sexes, but you know, it would have been nice to have that little additional flavor there. You know, I guess in this case you can be safe in picking like a barbarian or a witch doctor wizard, and knowing that whichever choice you have, you're going to get all the dialogue for that class.
Keep your distance from him. This burden is mine to bear.
You dare to bring the warrior's life into my tomb?
We shall put you down, Hellspawn!
There we go, I've kind of spammed a little bit too many of my high-level abilities here. I'm just going to stick to my Firebomb for now until I get a few more jars.
Need more money.
Now, I fully intend to have a supplemental video after this one, for those interested. I will do just like I did for the Witch Doctor, where I go through and I record at each new level to show you the new skilled runes and the new skills that I unlock at those levels. I will not treat those as a full playthrough, simply because at that point all that's left is to show the levels and kind of show off the skills a bit and how they work. So that one will be won't be terribly long. The last Demon Hunter one lasted for about 35 minutes or so as I recorded footage of the skills and whatnot. I expect it to be about the same, maybe probably a little less, because last time I found a new event while going through the cathedral and wanted to record that as well. So that should be a fairly quick one. And we'll make sure that you guys can see all the abilities that you get eventually. No, don't get rid of the magic item. Bad, Kage, bad. I do miss my fire bats. I enjoyed those in the last patch here. Although apparently I will be getting my fire bats back at 13. Just means I won't have them to spam at Leoric this time.
You will never defeat me!
You were defeated the moment you surrendered to madness.
And there we have the Skeleton King. Alright, and what you may have noticed as I was fighting him there, of course, I was trying to use my spells as efficiently as I could while trying to do as much damage as I could. Anytime I was getting low, I would of course try and spam Firebomb, which, as you saw when I spammed it without pause, it wasn't really giving me mana back, but I wasn't really losing it either. So I still had an ability that I could always cast, but I would have to pause casting maybe half a second or so between firebombs if I wanted my mana to go back up, so that I could have Grasp or Corpse Spiders ready for the next go around. Alright, well, what we're going to do is go ahead and go over the loot. This is the first rare ring I've gotten here. Let's take a look at that. 8 extra gold for monsters, 8%, excuse me, 5% better chance of finding magical items. Melee attackers take 6 damage per hit, and monster kills grant 3 experience. Very nice ring. It's 1 less experience than either of the rings I'm using, but extra gold and magic find are exceptional rare abilities. I could see this as a really nice ring to have for the full game if I were to be able to continue at this point. So I really like that. I will probably use that on future playthroughs, if just for bling factor. Let's look at my gloves. For gloves, only 15 armor, but what did they give me? Attack speed increased by 2%, plus 15% extra gold from monsters. Melee attackers take 1 damage per hit, and health and gold pickup increased by 2 yards. Honestly, not really caring for the gloves, but hey, there you go. That's random loot for you. Alright, I'm going to head back to town. I'm going to sell, and I will be seeing you guys again with the Witch Doctor to take a look at the additional skills. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. As always, thumb it up if you like it. Leave comments if you have them, feedback. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will see what I can do for you guys. Thank you for watching. This has been Kagekaze.